He's still chilling in the minor leagues. Since you
Mhm.
called up the number two guy, but
Number
because our guys at AAA doing well. I'm excited for you guys. Well, let me just talk about you guys. I'm excited for you because you have two of the guys. You still got, I think, Grayson. He's still in the minors.
Yeah,
Um,
he was about to get called up, but he got hurt. But guess what? Guess what, Herb? He just made a rehab start yesterday.
oh, good.
So
Okay.
he's
Well,
not
was
going
he?
to
Was in,
play.
he was above single A, right?
He's
I
in
think.
AAA. He's the number one pitching prospect in baseball.
Oh, so he okay? He's in AAA now. So
Yep.
yeah. So I mean, just that excitement, like you said, of having those, and like we're excited because we called up Brett Beatty, who was the number 3 prospect, our third baseman.
Okay.
We called him up this week because we had a lot of injuries on the infield, and he started off well. He's has an injury now. Is out for I think 10 days. But he was doing well. Picked him up on my fantasy team. Of course, got to have how I love my third baseman, so I had to pick him up. But yeah, we did well. We took 2 out of 3 from the Dodgers.
Oh,
So,
okay.
who have the most wins in baseball? They have 90 at this point. Their first team to 90. But we're not too far behind them. We had again we took 3 out of 4 from the Braves, I believe. Yeah, 3 out of 4 from the Braves. So our lead is now still 3 games because they keep winning. They keep winning. But we're 10.5 over the Phillies now, who are in third. So, and as we can see, you are 9.5 back from the Yankees, which, by the way, less than double digits now.
Yeah, if they get swept by the Rays, man, they'll only be what?
Yeah, they're 6-4. Yeah, they 6-4 in their last 10, and if they get swept by the Rays, they'll be just 3 games ahead of the Rays.
That's crazy.
Which is insanity. And they beat us last week twice, which is crazy. But I told you it was going to happen. I just knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're doing well. 84-48. We just got the numbers backwards. We play and our schedule is supposedly one of the best in baseball. We don't play the Dodgers again. We only play the Braves 3 more times towards the end of the season. So our schedule is loaded with people we should be able to beat. So I'm definitely excited about that. Because we need to pad our lead because the Braves are a good team. I don't like them, can't stand them, but they are good.
They're trying to build a dynasty down there. They're trying to build a dynasty.
So, but yeah, so we're doing well. So I definitely cannot complain about that. So happy, but all these good things are happening in Queens. Speaking of Queens, not only is of course the U.S. Open in Queens, as it happens every year, but there is a queen playing in Queens, and that's one Serena Williams who we've been watching, who we're keeping tabs of at this very moment. Who maybe could be, hopefully not, but we will see maybe playing her last U.S. Open, and it's just been a whirlwind for her with her diamonds are forever and Serena's forever, man. So how do you feel about Serena so far winning her first two games or matches, I should say, and she's playing Kern right now. I know she's down 6-5, but how do you feel about that? I know her and Venus got bounced yesterday from the doubles, but how do you feel about just talk about Serena? Not even just this moment, but just in general.
Well, it's good to see her play, for the final time, man. And she is
maybe.
Oh, so the U.S. Open isn't her last?
It might not be. I'm not sure. And I don't know if she's going to Tom Brady some things, and just but she said she has other things that she's going to go to, but she never said I'm. This is it. Like I'm not going to see you guys again. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Well, they certainly acting like it.
Yeah, well, they should because you never know, and I think they should act that way.
Yeah. But it's good to watch her. She's the reason why. Well, her and Venus were the reason why I even started watching tennis. So, she's awesome, man. She's the GOAT. 23 Grand Slam titles, 73 singles victories. I mean, what's there to say, man? Serena's awesome. She's the GOAT. I'm glad she's I'm getting a chance to see her play right now, and she's stepping up to the challenge. She's down right now, but she's down a set right now. But hopefully, she can pull out these last two. But yeah, man, she's awesome. I have a question for you because I heard this on the radio today. I was listening to local radio, and somebody made the point that Serena is the most dominant athlete of her generation. And at first, I was like, "Nah, that ain't true." But then I thought about it, and I was like, "You know what?" And this is male or female. And I was like, you know what? She might be. She might be. Because at first I was like, Tiger. But Tiger had, 10 years of injuries and no majors. You know what I mean? So she's been consistent except for like the past 5 years, 4 or 5 years. I mean, she's been consistently winning, Grand Slam, major tournaments. I don't know, man. The only other two that I could think of that come to mind is Michael Phelps. Michael Phelps, Tiger Woods, and Tom Brady, man. But she might be the most dominant athlete of her time, of our time, man, of her time. What do you think about that?
Oh, 1,000%. She dominates from the point from '99. But think about how long ago '99 was.
Yeah.
I think they made it. They said, I think in '99, I forgot what it was. It was Tom Brady was in college. He didn't even throw a touchdown yet when she won her first major. I think Steph was 10. I forgot. I think LeBron just got. No, he just got. It was something about LeBron. Oh, he was still in high school. What else was there? It was a whole bunch of things, and you got to think of how long her career has been and how dominant she's been. And I know you said she hasn't won anything like the past 4 or 5 years because she had a kid.
Right.
So let's just put that out there. And then when she came back, she still made it to the finals of certain things, but she just didn't win. She just didn't have that.
They only got
to finish that out. But she, it was almost like eat, drink, sleep, Serena in the finals. That's how it was for her. So she is, every other, Tom, it's a team sport.
Right.
Tiger, I would say Tiger's up there. But like you said, Tiger, but his injuries but he still came back. He's strong. But I just feel like Serena has no one I have never seen anything like Serena.
Yeah.
Now I'm saying I haven't seen anything like Tiger, but I just feel Serena's just been consistent, especially even at this age, and where most women players are gone. Women players don't play this long in their 40s.
No.
Or 39 or however she is. She don't.
40.
Yeah. So no, that didn't come back after. I mean, a lot of them have kids when they're younger, and they may come back and play. But even those players don't even last that long. So just seeing her out there competing, and like you said, I hope she's down the other day. She won a set, lost a set, came back and won the third set. And that was against the number 2 ranked player in the world. So I'm hoping that she could pull this one out tonight. Coco Gauff won earlier. She beat another fellow American, Madison Keys. So I'm hoping, Coco and Serena can keep going.
Yeah.
I'm hoping Serena can come back tonight. But there's no place for her, to have if it is a swan song, then on a U.S. soil. But there's no better place than in Queens in the U.S. Open. So if this is the last hurrah, whatever it is, then, as all I can say is just thank you to her.
Yeah.
Honestly. Because there won't be anyone else like her.
No.
Yeah. I mean, again, she's been here for we've kind of grown up together.
Yeah, we've seen her entire career.
Yeah. So and it's been, dynamic.
Yeah. So that's how we know we're getting old, her man. We've seen like entire careers of players. You know what I mean?
I already know because we already said that. Because we've seen entire careers of players and then their kids are here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So at least her kid's too young to play right now. But we're still seeing like little Charlie acting like Tiger, which is still like weird. They got the whole little thing going on. They got they're twinsies in a way. So, but yeah, it's just awesome to watch her. So, but yeah, so transitioning to something that's not awesome to watch. So it's funny how you are a baseball purist.
Yes.
You don't want robot umpires, and I
No.
want robot umpires because I
No.
can't stand these shit.
No.
The one thing that you know that I have fought against and I have never wanted was a playoff, more than a 14 playoff in college football, because the regular season means the most.
Mm-hmm.
The rivalries, those games, how many of those games? It's crazy because I grew up watching, of course, the Florida games in October, where Florida State would just lose one game and you're kind of out of the national championship. We beat Miami, they're out of the national championship race. Like those games meant so much. So today, in breaking news, which as you know, it came across. I already knew. I didn't want to talk about it, obviously. But, of course, this is a show. We have to talk about it. They want to jump from 4, not to 8. Not to 8. Stop it. Stop it right now. Stop it. From 4, I don't even want to talk about this anymore. Matter of fact, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see you next week. From 4 to 12.
Yes.
And not only now they want to start in 2026, but they're looking to try to start in 2024. Now, I know you're ecstatic about this.
Absolutely.
Travesty. Just give me your reaction, whatever.
Yeah, dude, this is great. This is great. I understand your line of thinking. But I just feel like the more teams you have in, it's fine. It's fine. And I don't know how they're going to do this, but even if you have a tier, right? Even if you take the top 4 teams, give them a bye or whatever, and just let
the top 4 teams will get a bye, supposedly.
All right, okay. So it still heavily favors the top teams. But I look in all these other college sports, there's a playoff system. There's a playoff system with a lot of participants. We can do that in college football because I hate seeing like the freaking Boise States of the world, go undefeated and don't get a shot. You know what I'm saying? Or every year we argue, oh well, such and such is undefeated, then they lose. They can't lose, then they lose, and then they're totally out the playoffs when they've had a great year. Then they lose in the last week. I know now they can't go to the playoffs because they lost the last week. Like, come on, man! Like, give this. All I'm saying is give deserving teams a shot. Just give them a shot. They deserve a shot. You know what I'm saying? Give them a shot. Still have the playoff system heavily weighted towards the best teams in the league, but this is a good thing for college football. It's going to the interest in college football is going to be even greater. And in this era of all these super teams where all we have is Ohio State, Alabama, Clemson, Georgia every year, that's boring. We see Alabama in the playoff, the BCS, like every year. That's boring. Expand the playoff.
Still be here.
Okay, but give other people a shot. And I don't have any interest in bowl season unless Maryland's going. I don't care about these other bowls. Now I have a reason to watch bowl games because teams are going to be actually playing for something. I know you hate this.
You have no idea. You have no idea. College football basically is the second most popular sport in America, to be honest. So I don't know how much more popular it's going to be because it's not, because it's already popular before you even looked at it. So, like, stuff like this is for people like you, not for people like me, where you can kind of go in there and say, again, Alabama, Ohio State, all those teams are still going to be there in this. So that's not going to stop them from not being in it. My whole thing is,
that's one of my points.
What I'm saying is they're there. The favorites are still going to be there. Yes, it's supposed to be like the 6 conference champions and then 6 wild cards or the next, the next 6 at-large teams. So one of those at-large teams could be someone from, as they call it, the Power 5 or whatever, the other small conferences for those teams who may be able to get into a playoff.
There are 113 college football programs. Why should only 4 get to go to the playoffs?
It's not college basketball. It's not college basketball.
I didn't say anything about college basketball.
There's 113. Only 4 deserve to go there. That's how it is.
No,
What's your schedule? Who are you playing? That's the whole. Not everybody deserves to go.
Everybody.
I'm fine with 4. I don't need 12. We're not everybody deserves to go and play for a championship. If you win your games and you go undefeated and you play teams that are good, you can't just go undefeated and not play anybody. It doesn't mean anything. But if you actually beat good teams, you deserve to be in there. I don't have a problem with that. But not everybody deserves to be in there. And believe me, I came from the era where there was no playoffs, where people voted on who was number 1. That was crazy. I'm not saying I agree with that because I really wanted the 2 teams, but because everything back then was aligned by conferences, the winner of the ACC go to the Orange and the winner of whoever, say it was Michigan, would go on to play in the Rose Bowl and they wouldn't even play each other. So this is better. So you can actually come down to that. But I mean, it is now the remark about the bowl games. It's just anyway. Bowl games are awesome. Now there's way too many of them now. Back because when I was growing up, it wasn't as corporate. And I love the rose, the citrus, the pea, all orange, all those were great. But then when you start having the pecan bowl and your mama bowl, because back then 6 and 6 teams weren't getting into stuff. Like there were good teams playing in good bowl games. Nowadays, if you make it to 6 and 6 or you're 6 and 7, hey, we'll put you in the bowl game. I don't have time for that. I don't like that. Matter of fact, they just need to strip away some of the bowls, and I'd be happy. But they still mean something. But 12 is just a lot. It is what it is. It's gonna happen. I hate it. If any team with like 3 losses gets into this thing, I'm gonna lose my mind. I already don't like it with teams with 1 loss. But teams with 3 losses get into this, I'm gonna lose it. I will, because they can't. No 3-loss team deserves to be in no playoff. Not one. 2 shouldn't even be in this thing, but they will.
Right, I hate to tell you this, but there's going to be a 3-loss team getting.
There's not. I'm telling you right now, there's a 3-loss team that makes this 12-team playoff. I'm going to do a whole show about how wrong that is and why I'm never watching that. I'm not watching that playoff season at all.
Okay.
Because there's no way you can prove to me that a 3-loss team needs to be in a 12-team playoff in college football.
Okay.
Speaking of college football, it started tonight with some games, but it really starts this weekend.
I thought it started last night.
Well, it started last week, and it did start last night. You had Pittsburgh against, West Virginia, the old backyard brawl and stuff like that. But it really, of course, Saturday's the big day. A lot of big games, and usually big games over Memorial Weekend. We got Notre Dame playing Ohio State. Who do you think is going to win that game?
Ohio State.
By how much?
14 points.
I say like 21.
Do you know what the spread is?
I think they're good. Hold on. Is it up here? Where is it? I can't find it. I know it's got to be, like I said, I think it's around 14, like 13 and a half, something like that. But I think it's going to be more than that.
Okay.
But that's like the big game of the weekend. You have a couple ranked teams, Cincinnati at Arkansas, Oregon at Georgia, defending national champions. So a lot of good stuff this weekend. You know, I love college football. I can't wait for it. Your Maryland's playing at home against Buffalo.
Buffalo, that's right.
And I know you're excited about that.
I think they're a 24-point favorite or something.
Tickets as low as $2. Might as well.
Yeah, that
exciting.
sounds right.
Exciting for everybody. Number 7, Utah, who I'm rooting for, is traveling to play Florida. So I'm definitely picking Utah that game. So Alabama plays Utah State. Of course, Ohio State, Notre Dame, 7:30. Of course, Sunday night on ABC, we have Florida State traveling to LSU. And on primetime on ESPN on Monday, it's Clemson, number 4, Clemson at Georgia Tech.
Okay.
So a lot of fun games this weekend. Cannot wait to watch. So, all right, where do you want to head to next? NBA, NFL. We got a smorgasbord.
Let's talk about what happened in the NBA, man.
All right. So a travesty occurred this week in the NBA. Somehow, a young man who's born in the same county I was born in, actually not too far away from where I was born, also a fellow Mets fan, who was drafted out of college, drafted by the Utah Jazz, has played in Utah. Utah is in this whole rebuilding program, shipped away Gobert, the coach is gone. So Donovan's like, are we staying or we're going? There's actually one natural fit for him to go to, at least in my opinion. So suppose there was some negotiations and so on and so forth. They decided to extend one of the players, RJ Barrett, who was supposed to be included in a trade for said Donovan Mitchell. As everybody said today, that seems to be like a stumbling block for them to extend RJ Barrett. It's kind of weird. And then the very next day, Donovan Mitchell was traded. But, he didn't go home. No. He made a pit stop in Akron to see LeBron house and drive to Cleveland. What happened?
What? Dude, you tell me. We kept hearing rumors and all this stuff. I thought he was going to the Knicks. I thought it was just a matter of time. But no.
A travesty. That's a It's
maybe the Knicks just didn't want to give all this stuff up, man.
Give what up? They ain't got nothing. They ain't got nothing.
Cleveland gave up a lot of stuff, man.
They gave away
3 protected first-round draft picks.
Okay. What did the Knicks got? He would have brought. I'm not saying this is going to make him a national powerhouse if they got Donovan Mitchell. I'm not saying that. But it would sell tickets. It would get people excited. This team is not excitable. This team is boring. I don't care we got Brunson or not. He's not, a guy that's going to sit there and put the team on his back and you make it to the finals. Not in that conference. That's not going to happen. This is what you needed. You sell everything but Madison Square Garden for him. This is just the Knicks being the Knicks. And this is how the Mets used to be before we got bought over
right.
by Uncle Steve.
Right.
So, but this is Dolan being Dolan, the Knicks being the Knicks, being mismanaged. And look, my voice is getting towards how Stephen A talks. That's how upset I am.
So, all right. So let's talk about the team he went to. Went to the Cavaliers. How do you think this improves their team?
I think this improves their team. Remember, this is a team that I think made the playoffs the first time post LeBron ever being there, right? Last year. Yeah, I know they had a lot of injuries, but they have a lot of young stars. They had 2 guys that made the All-Star team that they didn't trade in this. And to add, so they have a really young core for that team. I think it's going to just help Cleveland. Now, I'm not saying it pushes Cleveland past Milwaukee in that conference, or it might have them up there on par with Chicago or something. It's not going to push them past the Nets since KD's staying home. It might have him up there, in the middle of the pack, but it definitely makes him better. So I think it's a good trade by them.
So let me ask you something, Hurt. Why did Utah want to trade Spider in the first place, man?
Well, I think they knew what are they going to do with him. In all honesty, in that division, in that conference, just having Donovan Mitch, D Mitch, having him there, what are you going to build around him? You already tried it with Rudy Gobert. They had him. They did well during the regular season, just the playoffs. It just wasn't enough around. So why not? You have to kind of just start. You got rid of Gobert. They got enough number ones now that between them, I forgot what other team it was. Somebody else got a lot of number ones. Like they could have between them and someone. God, I can't remember what other team it was. I'm drawing a blank and I saw it. But they have enough number ones for the next 2 seasons where they can get about everybody they need in Utah to start all over to have a brand new team. But that's why you trade them. But you keep them for no reason, honestly, because they weren't going to go anywhere.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Say thank you. Yeah, Sam Presti. That's good. There you go, Jaden. Look at 25-year-old looking Jaden. Jaden, man, stop growing up. Seriously. It's insane. So yeah, you can't keep them. You trade this, but this was a great trade for them, to be honest with you. Like you said, all these unprotected number ones, everything, but forget Utah, forget Cleveland. The Knicks just keep doing Knicks type stuff, and it's sad. It's sad. And teams are and ownership makes a difference in sports. Makes a huge difference. Or even if owners get out the way or certain things happen, it makes a huge difference. And you see what it's done to the Mets. If once Dolan sells the team to someone who cares, the Knicks will be good. I'm not saying it'll be great, but at least they're going to be good. And it's not going to happen like that.
Yeah, man. Dolan's he's the worst, man.
Trash.
He's the worst. So
trash. So and at least this happened because I didn't want to talk about Patrick Beverly going to LA. I'm still perplexed, hoodwinked, bamboozled. I don't even know what words to use. Again, I don't know if we talked about this. I just don't understand that. I don't understand it again, we're not the biggest Westbrook people, but to put his arch enemy, it's like putting the Joker in the Justice League. You know what I mean? It's just, what are you doing? What are you doing? Patrick Beverly?
That made no sense. No sense.
That's the best you could do? Oh, my God. Anyway. All right, let's move on from that. Speaking of Russell, we'll talk to Russell Wilson instead of Russell Westbrook. So another quarterback contract was completed, and it wasn't anyone named Lamar. So, and the season starts next week. So how do you feel, and what do you think about Russ's new contract there in Denver?
Yeah, it's about right. That's about right. He got $245 million. He got extended 5 years, $245 million. He got $5 more million guaranteed than Kyler Murray, so he's at $165 in guarantees. Good for him. But all I kept thinking was, all right, here's another quarterback signed. He didn't get a fully guaranteed contract. Is this going to affect Lamar? I mean, to me, that's all I kept thinking about. Like, we know exactly what Lamar should be paid, man. But the question is, is the deal going to get done? And no, it's not going to happen. I mean, they have this weekend to get something done, and it's not going to happen because I don't even know the reason. Sounds like Lamar might want fully guaranteed money, and Ravens don't want to pay it to him. And honestly, if that's the holdup, then I agree. I mean, the Ravens can't do no fully guaranteed contract. That's not how things work in football. I mean, so I don't know, man. I don't know. What did you think about the deal? Oh, we lost Kevin. Hopefully he'll come back. But talking about that contract, that's just how I felt. That is just how I felt. I'm just hoping that something will get done, but I'm not expecting anything to get done. But when Russell signed his deal, all I could think about was Lamar's deal, the deal that's not done. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But hey, good for Russ. Russ got his money. Money's well deserved. But I don't know. We'll just have to see how it goes. But the good thing is Russell Wilson got his deal done right before the season. So basically his deal is done right before the Labor Day weekend, right before everybody's about to come back and start concentrating on week one and prepping for week one. Lamar had, the off season to get this done. He had all the training camp to get this done, mini camps to get this done. Nothing got done. I don't understand for the life of me why he is not signed. And honestly, it's disappointing. The guy's a former MVP. The guy wins 75% of the games he starts. The Ravens have known nothing but winning since they put him in the starting lineup. And he's going to play out his fifth year. He's going to play out his fifth year without a contract. And he's the only young quarterback a high caliber quarterback to go and play on a contract without a contract. And it just doesn't make any sense. It's just so disheartening. It's disheartening to see all these other QBs get locked up. In the meanwhile, my quarterback's going to play play on this contract without a deal. And it's just disheartening, man. It's just disheartening. Russell gets signed. Deshaun gets and signed. It just sucks. No, go ahead.
Yeah, that was disheartening is this my computer. That's what's disheartening.
So what happened was your computer was like, oh, it's Labor Day weekend. I'm off.
Basically, I ain't got time for that. Now I'm on a little different view and everything. I hope everybody can see me. Let me see how. Wait, what are we doing? Nope, I don't want that. I don't even know how to listen. This is just how we're going to be for right now. So I apologize for the technical difficulties, everybody. But I was here. But you're right. But what you were saying is right. Like you said, it's disheartening, but I feel like it's also just disrespectful. I'm not saying that you want to sit here and again, I don't know what he's asking for. And no one knows. But he needs to be the season starts Thursday. And he said, hey, the season starts, we're gonna break down. And like you said, and like people said around the league, and I agree with, why would he even play? He's just hurting himself if he does play, right?
I don't get it.
But I feel like that he's such a stand-up dude that he's actually just going to go and like, you know what, I'm going to go give my all for the team. But that dude needs to be paid. And there's a certain point where, I don't know what it is. I don't know what they're asking for. I think Deshaun was $230 fully guaranteed, right?
Yes.
So maybe he's like, I want $250. I don't know. But whatever unless he's asking for $300, which I'm not in those negotiations. I highly doubt it. But I don't know. But you know more than I do when it comes to this. But I just feel like this dude should be signed, and we should even be having this conversation.
Yeah. This is where I've been behind in defending Lamar for not having an agent. If he doesn't get a deal done, though, before training camp, I just think it's just a bad move, dude. You've got to get your money, dude, before the season. Anything can happen. You could get hurt. You could have a down year. You know what I mean? Dude, get your money. The highest leverage you're gonna have is right now. Because the next ones to get paid are Joe Burrow, which you're not going to get paid more than him, and Justin Herbert. You're not going to get paid more than these dudes. I don't.
Oh yeah, well they're coming up next. So but his contract is ahead of theirs.
But the thing is, they can sign. they can sign starting next year. He's not getting more. He's not getting more than him. Period. Dude, everything you've seen, all the comparables that you need to see. Get your money, dude. Get your money. I don't understand. Get your money. But hey, that's on him. That's on him. It's whatever. But
I mean, again, but there's still franchise tags, and there's still a long way to go with this. But
yeah,
but Russell got his money. Sierra's happy. So that's all that matters.
Yeah.
So speaking of which, NFL starts Thursday, like I said, numerous times. Buffalo at the Rams. I know Jaden's happy about that. And his Rams first game of the season, man. Well, first of all, you excited besides the quarterback stuff. Are you excited about your team? Excited about signing a new running back because your running backs are still hurt. How do you feel about going? What's your expectations about going into the season? We'll give records and stuff next week. But how do you feel? Just what's your overall feeling?
I don't think I'm a little disappointed, man, with the Ravens. I think offensively they'll be fine. Defensively, I have no idea what they're doing, man. I got a bad feeling. I think their defense is going to stink. They have no pass rushers, yo. They have no pass rush. They have right now on their 53 man roster, they have 2 pass rushers. Odafe Oweh and Justin Houston. That's it. Like, what are they doing?
They didn't draft any this past draft?
No. Well, they drafted David Ajabo, but from Michigan, but he slipped because he's hurt.
Gotcha.
I don't get it, man. And so we got all these safeties. We drafted a safety with the number 14 pick, which really didn't make sense because we just signed Marcus Williams to a 5-year, $70 million deal, and we got Chuck Clark locked up too. So they drafted him because he fell to 14, which is fine, but we have no defensive linemen. Our inside linebackers stink. We have great corners and great safeties, but that's it. Our defensive line is gonna suck, dude. And then Ronnie Stanley, they took him off the PUP list, but he hasn't practiced. They took him off the PUP list this time last week. He still has not practiced. I don't know what's going on with the Ravens, man. I'll just say it right now. I don't think they're winning. They're not going to beat the Jets. I think they could go 0-4 their first 4 games.
So what do you think is a better chance of happening? Poe coming back or your Ravens having a good season?
Well, Poe ain't coming back, so I think the Ravens having a good season. But I'm just glad.
Dude, but that might be a harbinger for how the season may go. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? Yeah, you know what?
That might just be that type of a season for Baltimore.
You could be right, Herb.
When was the last time the Orioles and the Ravens were both good?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I don't know if you can have 2 good birds.
Oh no, I'll tell you. 2012, the Ravens won the Super Bowl. Or that was the season that they won the Super Bowl, and that was the season that the Orioles went to the playoffs for the first time in years, like 14 years. So yeah, that was 2012 was a good one. 2014 was also a good one because the Orioles got to the AFC. What's it called? The American League. The AL championship series, and the Ravens got to the divisional series in 2014. So that was also a good year, 2014 and 2012. So,
or at least the Oriole bird's healthy. So
yep,
at least one of the two's healthy.
Yeah, we don't need him falling off the dugout roof or anything like that.
Please don't. So the biggest news going down a little further south, down 95 with Washington, was a carjacking, unfortunately, with our 3rd round draft pick running back, Brian Robinson, who was shot. Luckily, non-life-threatening injuries. He was in the hospital, but was released 2 days later. Not sure about his status for the season. Just glad he's okay. Scary situation. It's just insane. And it was just like actually this week, a couple of athletes, a couple in England, a guy who used to play for Arsenal, Aubameyang, his house was broken into. He and his wife were tied up. I mean, it's just been it's crazy all over. And that was in Spain. So I'm just glad he's okay. You know, again, when it comes to, unfortunately, for Washington fans, anytime we hear about somebody getting shot or hurt, we always got to go back to, our number 21 and everything that happened to him. And so I'm just glad that this is totally different. I'm glad he's okay. So it changes up the depth chart, changes up the draft, but I'm just happy. Honestly, besides football, I'm just happy he's okay. And honestly, we'll talk about Washington and the expectations next week. But that was the biggest story. I'm just happy he's good, honestly.
Yeah, man, you hate to hear stuff like that. Like you say, glad he's okay. I mean, that could have gone.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But he's fine. He's released out the hospital. So,
yep, he showed up, brought some Oreos to the team training camp and everything. So he's on crutches. But was happy to see him, man. The team was happy to see him. So it's just, this day and age, it's just good. I'm just glad he's all right.
Yeah.
As I'm attempting to restart my computer here, see what happens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's. I think that was the last NFL we had. We did everything. Oh, you know what I want to talk to you about real quick? Here on a podcast, the more and more. It seems like each week players are leaving the PGA to go to this live golf. Mm-hmm. Now, I know Harold Varner, one of the few African Americans on tour, actually was number 46 on the PGA list, left to go to live. And in his statement, which was kind of, I guess, not saying shocking, but it really just kind of hit me in a certain way. He said this is life-changing for him and his family, like for generations. Like he could really set them up. If that's the case, do you think that PGA really has something to worry about with players feeling that way?
Hey, man, money talks, right? At the end of the day, money talks. The PGA is nice and everything, but at the end of the day, money talks. And if you throw enough money these golfers away, as we've seen, they're going to roll out. They're going to jump ship. And you know what hurt? In a case like his, I mean, can you blame them? Can you really blame them? No. So I think this is going to be a problem. It's going to be a continuing problem, and the PGA is going to have to figure out what to do. They're going to have to up the ante, and I know they're doing some things now. I know they're like increasing purses and all that stuff. But yeah, man. I mean, look, when you have man, competition is good. You know what I mean? Competition makes you better. So PGA, they had some stiff competition, man, taking away their stars. So they're going to have to step up to the plate and figure some things out.
Yeah, step up and hit a long drive with that driver. That's what they need to do.
Step up to the tee.
Yeah.
And hit it to the green.
This really puts them under pressure. When I saw that, I was like, wow. Talking about this is life-changing. That's huge. So, and if that's a perception, then they really need to do something to me, the PGA, in order to get their swagger back, so to speak. I know they still got Rory, they still got Tiger, but if all the other little smaller people, the guy who just won the Open Championship is leaving. I mean, it's just not a good look, and they, like you said, it's something that they got to reverse engineer to bring back.
Yeah.
But I think that's all we got for sports, right?
Yeah,
there's a lot. There was a lot we got that in. But we're gonna go. I definitely gotta go because my computer's restarting now. So hopefully, everybody should be nice and ready for this next segment after we finish this. But thank you for tuning into this for NYA Podcast. I do apologize for the little technical difficulties. But I know Brian had brought some heat when he was talking about Lamar because he feels it from the heart. So, of course, we're on IG, Facebook, and Twitter. And, of course, you can find us on Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify. Wherever you find podcasts, you would find us, whether we're on a tablet or on a computer, NYND Podcast, or live at Camden Yards. Thank you everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you soon. And short.
Peace out, y'all.